Oh, welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Disney buying up the other movie studios seems to be a bad thing. Now, I initially said that Disney buying up movie studios wasn't really a big deal because they still need to make movies. They are not necessarily buying them out to remove the competition, but buying them out just to retain more profit. But then we start to get more and more reports like this, and I start to change my mind. Disney reportedly unimpressed with the New Mutants movie. Now, this is only over on Screen Rant, and it's actually from a bigger report, courtesy of Variety, which is detailing a lot of pressure that Fox is feeling from Disney. And Fox, it isn't just the massive tentpole properties that you would have seen that they release. Fox Searchlight was one of the best sort of indie sub studios. I guess it was really, really good. And now it seems like a lot of the projects under that belt are up. You know, they're on the chopping block. And it's a shame because that was something that Fox did really well. Regardless of what you think of Fox as a whole, they really did the Fox Searchlight thing fantastic. I mean, A Shape of Water, for instance, that was Fox Searchlight. Just to name one quickly from the top of my head. Now it states, this report card isn't going on anyone's fridge. 20th Century Fox received its first quarter grades from the Walt Disney Company last week, and in a public rebuke, the studio's new corporate parent made it plain that it viewed the first few months as an ominous sign of trouble ahead. Now we know that a lot of this is all to do with the Dark Phoenix film. We know that that was bad. But it seems like it goes ahead even further. And we start to understand why certain things have been going on behind the scenes and why movies just haven't come to light. So in a sharp reprimand that left staffers at Fox reeling and worried about their already fragile job security, Disney chief executive Bob Iger declared on the company's August 6th quarterly earnings call that the Fox studio performance was well below where it had been and well below where we hoped it would be when we made the acquisition. Iger's tone was apparently measured, but his message was clear. Shape up. I've seen a public... someone said, I've never seen a public hanging like that. That was remarks by one prominent Hollywood producer who was obviously on the call. Iger was giving voice to simmering frustrations on the part of many Disney insiders. Several people close to the matter say that Walt Disney Studios Chief Creative Officer and co-chairman Alan Horn and co-chairman Alan Bergman have been troubled by the poor box office returns and the viability of numerous projects in various stages of development. Now, and again, I want you to keep a few things in mind here. I've said time and time again that Disney are not going to be releasing any Alien stuff for a while. This goes hand in hand with that. You know, one of the massively troubled box office takings of the last few years for Fox was Alien Covenant. It did not perform very well at all. So they are not going to be pumping any money into it. This corroborates that without a shadow of a doubt. Now, they go on further and they say, of the first few Fox films that Disney was tasked with distributing this year, only one, Breakthrough, released in April, was profitable. The faith-based movie grossed $50 million worldwide on a $14 million budget and was produced by Devon Franklin, whose overall production deal at Fox dissolved in the merger. So, he's gone anyway. The other Fox movies that Disney released, X-Men Dark Phoenix, the action comedy Stuber, and The Art of Racing in the Rain, which opened this past weekend to just 8.1 million, were flops. Now, X-Men Dark Phoenix lost like 170 odd million, I think, is the reports. Those offerings had the added misfortune of arriving just as Disney was shattering records with blockbusters such as Avengers Endgame, Aladdin, and The Lion King. I think it's really important to note that a few of those are only as good as the kind of legacy and nostalgia have about them. I mean, Avengers Endgame's it's the end of a chapter. Everyone had to watch it. Aladdin and The Lion King are just remakes of nostalgia films that everyone loved. So they were going to do well regardless because a lot of people were going to go and check on them just to go like, what the hell is this? And I think that's really important to note, and I think that's something that Disney should probably note, because people will end up getting sick of the remakes. They really will. I myself saw The Lion King, and as much as it's an impressive feat creating everything with CG, it's literally just shot for shot the same, which when you're watching it, it just makes you go, well, why did you even make this? Especially when the animals don't emote properly, and there's a whole bunch of lions wandering around, and you can't, lionesses, whatever, you can't discern which one's which anyway. They all look the bloody same. It's ridiculous. Now, they go on to say, running a company that is seemingly allergic to failure, Iger and Chief Financial Officer Christine McCarthy had to break the news to investors that Disney's per-share stock price and revenue projections were off. In fact, they've lowered quite a lot. They've gone massively down. Now, it goes on to further state that obviously there's actually a lot happening behind the scenes at Disney. Like, Galaxy's Edge is a huge failure. You've got the likes of the theme parks themselves. They're not doing very well either. There's a lot that's not going right for Disney. There really isn't. And they seem to be just wasting all their goodwill. Any goodwill that was left with Disney seems to just be dissipating more and more. So still, the Fox numbers were dismal. Dark Phoenix was a franchise-chilling failure that contributed to a $170 million write-down, and Fox is mired in 7th place in US market share behind all of its studio rivals. Yeah, but also, how are you even surprised that Dark Phoenix was bad? It's a remake of a movie that came out not very long ago, and it's a remake of a film which wasn't particularly great anyway. And the remake wasn't particularly great anyway. So why are you even doing it? If Disney hadn't bought Fox and they were just going along with business as usual, there'd still be layoffs and there'd be a for sale sign on the lot, says Jeff Bock, box office analyst with exhibitor relations. There's no way they'd have been able to survive in this climate. So it seems that's really why Fox was up for sale by the sounds of it. Now it goes on to say even further, Fox has several completed films set to be released by Disney through 2020, including X-Men installment The New Mutants, and an astronaut drama with Brad Pitt titled Ad Astra. Ad Astra actually looks really good. Many original scripts and option properties have been paused from going into production, one studio insider says. Now, apparently, Disney is prioritizing making more broadly commercial projects, which includes ongoing work on sequels to James Cameron's Avatar, the starry safe bets like the on-screen reunion of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in the drama The Last Duel, and finished films for the studio support are still struggling because, yeah, well, basically, like I say, we go on to say Disney's optimistic that handing Fox superhero properties such as Fantastic Four and X-Men to Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige will improve the quality, which are like they'll make money off that for sure. But apparently, the studio has seen New Mutants, and they are unimpressed. They are not happy with it at all. And if this goddamn Variety article wouldn't stop flitting around, I'd be able to highlight the part where it said that. The studio is unimpressed with New Mutants and the X-Men spin-off with a haunted house vibe, and it believes it has limited box office potential. Looks like we might not actually see that film, or it will just turn up on Disney Plus. Because why would they release it? Why would they go through the hassle of releasing it if they can use it? Because they will potentially lose money if they were to release it, because they have to distribute the film. Now, if they were just to release it over on the likes of Disney Plus, they don't lose anything at that point. They just use it as a bit of a dangling fish to get people to come in and sign up to their streaming platform. So I would be very surprised if they release it. And apparently the studio is also grappling with how to fit the very R-rated Deadpool into its PG-13 rated Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I did a video on. It sounds like there may be some changes ahead for Deadpool. And then just weird remakes that they're looking to do. And this just, literally, Disney is creatively bankrupt. We cannot keep supporting this company. Disney, right, set to launch in November. Iger told investors that reimaginings, remakes, of Fox library titles like Home Alone, Night at the Museum, Cheaper by the Dozen, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid are all being ordered for the digital platform. So you're just going to make a whole bunch of remakes? Stop it. Stop it. Make new stuff. And apparently there's going to be a new installment of Planet of the Apes. So, look. Oh, this is terrible, really. This is absolutely terrible. And this is what I mean. The only bright spot for the film operation would seem to be Fox Searchlight, the long operating darling of the indie film world, which will test Disney's patience with the wacky Hitler drama Jojo Rabbit, because that's Taika Waititi's on that. Apparently they're really worried about that. Genuinely quite worried about that. Because it's basically a kid has Hitler as an imaginary friend. It says the scathing takedown of Nazism may, however, prove a little too edgy for Disney's brass, accustomed to producing movies suitable for parents and kids. Searchlight has started to screen the film for its new parent company. Halfway through one recent viewing, one executive grew audibly uncomfortable, worrying aloud that the material would alienate Disney fans. So release it under Fox Searchlight? Or are you worried that it will alienate Disney fans to Taika Waititi? Which one is it? Apparently his unease may have been over the film's cutting-edge satire, but it was also an expression of the culture clash taking place as the two studios embark on their new union. Now, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm concerned about, is that it's going to wash out the market hugely. Disney, you are creatively bankrupt. You need to sort yourselves out. Like, the only take home from this is that they're going to be remaking Home Alone. Was it Richard by the Dozen or something like that? Night at the Museum. Why are you remaking Night at the Museum? It's just trash. You know, you're just remaking stuff time and time again, and you're lauding over the fact that you did Aladdin and the Lion King and you got money for it. Who cares, mate? They got by because they might have been reasonably good to a degree, but they got by first and foremost because they were remakes. You are creatively bankrupt. You need to make more stuff. So I thought I'd make this video because I do find this really, really interesting. And I find this report just on the landscape of movies today to be a very interesting report. And I guess it's an omen of the future, of what's to come if Disney keeps buying up companies. So let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe. And if you like what I'm doing here, give this video a like and a share. You can support the channel further. There's links to my Patreon down below in the description box. That really helps me out, of course. But you also do get access to exclusive content. There's my Teespring underneath the videos. And there's also an Amazon affiliate link. It all helps out an awful lot. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I've been Mr. Age. Take care.